March 23rd, 2020, and I'm over here in the hospital, not because of this coronavirus, but because today was the day that my first son was born, Samuel, right here in this hospital. So I'm alongside my wife right now as she's resting. And I just want to share something with you guys. And I know that people all around the world are also going through suffering. Not only I, my wife, and my family, but others who have been affected by this virus. And I want to share what the Bible speaks about in this Bible. So the Word of God says that in 1 Peter 5:9 says that, knowing that the same suffering are experienced by your brotherhood in the world. And James 1:2 says, my brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. On Thursday, March 19, I took my wife in for an ultrasound, and they found that my son, his body was bloated, and what they saw was water and fluid in his lung and his chest, and his stomach was bloated. And so they admitted us to the hospital, Sutter Health Hospital. And that same day, they gave my wife a steroid shot. And we spent the night in the hospital on Thursday. And the following morning, on Friday morning, they came and did an ultrasound. And they found that my son's heart was still beating, but the doctor advised that he may not make it throughout the week. And so we as believers, yes, of course we believe that God can do anything. He could raise people from the dead. And so we continue just to keep our faith. And we have people pray for us. And however, the following day, on Friday, after my wife left the hospital, on Friday morning, we went home to rest a little bit because they told us to return back, that she may have another steroid shot, which they gave her the previous day, just for my son's condition. And so we came back to the hospital on Friday, on the evening, and they did an ultrasound. And they found that my son's heart was no longer beating. So that was on Friday, March 20th. And we just kept believing and praying. And they admitted my wife into the labor care unit. And from that time, from Friday evening, all the way to right now, today, on Monday, March 23rd, at around 6:49 a.m., my wife gave birth to my son Samuel, who was not Now, when I first heard the news about my son, that his heart stopped beating, my first thought was, why, God? Why did you allow this to happen to us? We serve you, we believe in you, we trust in you, and you promised us many things in the Bible. Why? And as I kept asking those questions, and I was crying and I was bawling, going through mourning, I looked at my wife, who was in the bed, and she, of course, she was also going through it, but she said, if I'm going to be sad, how will I be able to push out this baby? And that was on Friday. And so I spent the entire night mourning and just asking God why, and angry, and just all kind of things filled my mind. But something just came and just spoke to me, and I knew it was God. And he spoke to me, he said, son, get up and be strong for your wife, for your family, for people who have been praying for you, people who supported you. This is the time, son, to show my glory in you. And so, after my wife gone through all the pain and suffering from Friday all the way till today, she went through fever because of the fetus having been dead inside her womb, and the cramping and the water in her lungs because all the oxytocin they gave her, and her legs and arms were bloated, and they were sticking all type of needles and IVs in her arm, and they had to poke her like many times because they couldn't find the veins, and she was going through all those suffering. And that's the time when I knew that God was with us still, and He never left us nor forsake us. You know, sometimes it's hard when things like this happen to us, and we all say, "Why, God?" And when we know that God can do all things, and we believe that He will and can, sometimes we ask, "Why, God?" I can't really tell you why, but all I know is that on this date, March 1995, I was arrested for a drive-by shooting in the result in the death of a person named Richard Rodriguez, an attempted murder of Angela Mercado, Jesus Plasencia, Miguel Ramos, and Rafael Sanchez, which I did 21 years for. But yet God has saved me out of that prison. And He brought me out here for a purpose, to live my life, to glorify Him. Because no matter how it is, count all your blessings. Throughout this trial, throughout this time, I realized that there are many people out there who love me and love my wife, who supported us. And so I just thank you. I thank God for all of you. And not only that, in this hospital where we're at, they have taken really good care of my wife, really good care of her. All the nurses and doctors out here in the Sutter Health Hospital. And so I just want to encourage all you who are going through suffering, through pain. You can always count on God, because He is not a God who never experienced suffering and pain. Remember, Jesus Christ came and He lived a perfect life, a sinless life. And He did that. He went on the cross voluntarily for you and for me. He took a beating. But yet, the Bible said that He rose on the third day. And that He promised that all those who believe in Him will once again rise from the dead and live in eternity in glory with Him, in a world with no more hate, no more murder, no more suffering, no more viruses, a world full of glory, love, joy, and peace. I pray that I will see you there, my friends. God bless.